Creator Claudine Francois and the founder of In Good Clean Taste. I am dedicated to helping women entrepreneurs design a healthy lifestyle by incorporating healthy, delicious tools, tips, and resources that empower their inner and outer game. Every episode, my featured guest and I share our healthy, delicious lifestyle journey on my globally recognized show, Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello. Thank you so much for being here on Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. We are going to get real today. I guarantee today's episode is going to be an eye-opener for many of us. Today's guest is going to shower us with some absolutely fantastic know-how that will definitely come in handy. And be sure to stay on until the end because we have some super special treats for our community. As always, if you're interested in learning more about me, my products, and my services, you can check those out at ingoodcleantaste.com. Now, today's show topic is how to kick your sugar addiction with Jenn Edden. I am going to bring her up from the green room in just a moment so you can meet her. But let me tell you a little bit about this powerhouse. So Jenn is the founder of the Sugar Freedom Method, author of Woman Unleashed, and was a regularly contributing health expert on Channel 12 News when she lived in New York. Jenn's zone of genius is teaching women how to kick and manage their sugar addiction so they can look and feel their best, most confident, vibrant self. Which of us doesn't need that? I don't know. So Jenn has gathered her wisdom from healing herself of sugar addiction and from the 19 plus years of being a holistic health coach. Her expertise is in simplifying the dietary confusion, and along with her team, she delivers real, long-lasting results in a woman's body and life. Oh my goodness, I am going to bring her up so you can meet her. Hello.
I love that intro. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it is my absolute pleasure. I'm so excited to have you here. I have read your book cover to cover. As you can see, I put all these little tabs on it, and I cannot wait for you to share some of this goodness with our community because I feel like sugar addiction is one of those things that we'll have, and we may know it or we may not know it, but we are definitely feeling the effects. Am I right?
Yes. And for those who are listening, there's no judgment. I don't believe in taking it out. I just believe in looking and feeling our best and not having anything in our life control us, including what we eat. So 100%. Yeah, it's in everything. So
yeah. And I'm going to ask you the first question I ask all my guests, which is, what does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
So here's the thing. It's not what people typically think. I love it. What I find is so many of us have this picture perfect life where we check all the boxes. But really, when we close our eyes at the end of the day, there's a part of us that still feels unsatisfied, which is partially where cravings come from. We'll talk about it. Or there's a part of us that has given so much to our kids or our companies, and or family. There are those who are still helping out, family members who might be ill and whatnot. And there's a piece of us that feels unsatisfied. So for me, going to bed and waking up, feeling excited, feeling whole, that we're doing the best we can and living our best life, to me is the answer. Like, too many of us just forget that piece because we're so busy checking our boxes. So yeah,
you're absolutely right. Because I feel like, especially with the women that I work with, so many of us are those A players. We're like getting it done, like you said, checking all the boxes. We feel like we have to be perfect in every area of our lives. And we will berate ourselves. You mentioned this in the book, actually. We will berate ourselves if we aren't doing it right or if we mess up, and it is that self-flagellation that just, being mean to ourselves is probably one of the biggest things we need to get over so that we can enjoy life, like you said. I love that.
Thank you. And it helps with cravings. We'll talk about that.
Yes, so good. Okay, so I want to get into this because there's so many good things that you have. So one of your healthy, delicious lifestyle shares is, when I became addicted to feeling good, it took the edge off being addicted to sugar. Tell us more about that. You kind of teased it a minute ago, but let's really go into that.
So sugar, I'll keep this biochemically friendly, but quick. Sugar gives you a dopamine hit. Working out gives you endorphin hit. Feeling good about your life gives you all of those hits, really a dopamine hit. And so what I find is a lot of times when it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and we're like, oh, I gotta hit a Starbucks, or there's no judgment, a coffee and a scone or a muffin, or a lot of my women, oh, I'm just gonna go into the candy in the office. What we're actually doing is we're looking for some sort of hit to elevate us. When working for ourselves, creating our own schedules, feeling the freedom, which is why I know I went into business, feeling that we don't feel the same pull, and then there's many other things, but the same pull for that hit, because we're getting it throughout the day from our work. From what we tell ourselves. We get it in other non-food ways. And
I love that.
That is a key component to learning how to kick and manage this sugar thing.
That is such a zesty citrus moment. And you basically described the 20 years I spent in corporate, because we would do the coffee run. We had the whole sugar, like it wasn't even a sugar drawer. It was like a sugar cabinet with all of these things that we needed in the afternoon, right? We would have the Starbucks one in the morning. We'd have the sugar pick me up in the afternoon. And I want to mention this quote. I don't know if have I lost you, or are you there? This is live, y'all. What are you gonna do? Jen, are you there? All right, while we're waiting for you to come back in, I am gonna read this quote of yours from the book. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, her book is Woman Unleashed, The Highly Sensitive Woman's Guide to Radiant Energy and Unstoppable Confidence, including a 21-day plan to kick sugar's hold on you. Oh, we lost her. Uh-oh, I think we lost her. She will come back. While we are waiting for her to come back, I'm going to read this quote. Oh, wait, here she is. Coming. Hey. Wait, here you are. You're coming back. Hi.
I don't know. Flagstaff is windy today. So.
Oh, no. That's okay. I was just talking about your book. I was
good.
This quote because I love. Okay, I will say I looked at this book and I'm like, okay, it's going to be a book on sugar addiction. Cool. I opened the first chapter and I was like, what the? Like, I was floored. I was floored because not only was it so good, but it was like, it spoke to me. I'm like, this is me. This is my people. You were talking about how we internalize so much that a lot of our sugar addiction is planted in our self-worth, in how we feel other people are viewing us. Like, I don't want to give away the whole book because I want to talk about this quote, but OMG, I was dying. I'm actually getting chills about it now. Okay. So to your point, this quote was, no one ever really talks about how sugar affects our ability to feel good about ourselves, or the way it blocks us from that radiant energy we all want and deserve. And then just skipping a little bit, it says, they knew if they could kick the sugar habit, they could have clear thoughts, get creative, and feel good. Sugar in the body really suppresses us on so many levels. And I was like, amen, sister, because you were saying we get a dopamine hit, right? But yet I don't think a lot of us realize the negative hit we're getting afterwards. You get that high, but then you get that low, your energy drops, your creativity drops, you're foggy brained.
It affects your gut health. Yeah. Yes. Module 6 of the Sugar Freedom Method is about gut health. And our gut and our brain are one tube. So whatever we're doing that affects our gut health, from the stress and the chemicals, and the antibiotics and everything else we've grown up with, and really chemicals everywhere. It affects our mind, not to mention the food we eat. I'll say 30 seconds as a biochemist. The food we eat forms our blood, right? It goes into glucose. Glucose goes into our bloodstream. So the quality of the food we're eating affects our blood. And our blood feeds our brain. So if you think what you're eating isn't a direct connection to how you look and feel, I mean, I don't say it at all to brag. People just say, hey, do you have a filter on? I'm like, what's a filter? Number one, on cameras. And B, I'm going to be 50 soon. And I have 3 kids. And I don't really do anything special. I just live an anti-inflammatory life most of the time. Yeah, I like to drink. Yeah, I have 3 kids. We eat stuff. But it's like 80%. And so I follow what I teach, and the body can stay. So I just want to throw that in there. It's a direct relationship. And it doesn't mean dieting and calories counting and shakes and killing ourselves at the gym and CrossFit thing that I think I would die. Anti-inflammation. And yeah, this sugar thing has a lot of women feeling disempowered. So it's my job to re-empower, and you can kick it. You just have to know what to do, in what order.
I love that you say that, empowerment, because you're right. When you are addicted to sugar, when we are addicted to sugar, it is running our lives. We are not running our lives. It is running our lives. And I use this really silly analogy that I made up, which is like in our gut, because you're talking about the gut, you know, there's different little, I call them the sugar monsters and the kale goblins. And like the sugar monsters are in control. They're telling your brain, we want sugar, we want sugar. It's not that we are, you know, women will say a lot of times, oh, I just don't have the willpower. No, it's that the sugar monsters are telling your brain and we're feeding them. So there are more of them.
I love that.
And they're just like begging for more sugar. So like, you don't really have a choice. Your brain is telling you, I want the sugar because we have given control over to the sugar. Right.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yes. And you know, what you're saying about feeling good all the time, like we don't need to have this roller coaster. We want to have good sustained energy throughout the day. So I do want to talk about your next tip. So good. And by the way, that was such a like wonderful like lifestyle moment. Like, yay! I love that. So your tip is when you're craving sugar, pause and close your eyes for 30 seconds and breathe. A lot of times we're exhausted and need to rest versus eating sugar. How many women out here are exhausted?
Adrenal burnout. I'm so sorry. We fix that too. We fix it all. Yes. Look, have it if you want it, but just know you're in a negative feedback loop. It's an addiction. Just like I always say, someone, you know, was a cocaine addict or something, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, here's some cocaine. Tomorrow's a new day. And by the way, use your willpower. You'd be like, whoa, you should get some help. But it's seen so different than sugar, which I do believe is a socially acceptable, legalized drug. And we're always like, we give it to the kids when they're sick. We hand it out at parties. It's just eaten all the time. It's for celebration. If someone dies, it's in celebration. I mean, we're just always celebrating with this stuff that we don't even think to go, whoa, this could be controlling my brain. Whoa. Well, that's why I feel low levels of anxiety all day long. Whoa. That's why I got migraines. Well, that's why my sleep's affected. Whoa, that's why I can't get weight off of me. It's because we're inflamed. It's not our fault. But until we educate people, we just don't know. And exhaustion will absolutely cause cravings. A night of not sleeping or working too late in the office or stress and stuff, you just absolutely will crave it. I always know, tomorrow's going to be a tricky day. And then I get to decide. But we're exhausted. And we're exhausted. We're looking for fake energy. Sugar, quick energy. And so the pausing helps. It's a start. It's a start, right? What we're talking about is a start, but you could pause. Usually you lay down, drink a glass of water. You go, wow, I don't have them anymore. Women don't always think to do that. They would never. I mean, that's what you and I are around for. So,
well, I totally hear you because I have struggled with my own sugar addiction in the past. I had a client about a year ago. She was going through my Glowing Woman program, and she did exactly what you said. She was going to the fridge. She was going to eat her feelings because she'd had a stressful day, right? Stress, exhaustion, all of these things. I think for all of those emotions, we feel like the sugar is going to help us, but it's like a fake promise.
I think it's
right?
Subconscious too. I don't even think people connect it until we talk about it.
Yes. Well, she had connected it. You know, she was a good student and she went to the fridge. She was like, I'm going to eat my feelings. And then she's like, wait, I'm just eating my feelings. This isn't going to serve me in the long run. She took a deep breath. She drank a glass of water. She sat down for a minute and she's like, you know what? I don't really want this sugar. I want a nap, or I want a massage, or I want to cry, or, you know, taking a pause to notice what is it you're trying to fill with the sugar? What do you actually need? I love that. There was another quote that you had. This is like, I'm getting chills. I haven't even read it out loud yet. It says,
Thank you.
When we internalize, a lot of us highly sensitive women have anxiety and turn to food for comfort. Yes, because we're feeling too many feelings, right? Like, I will tell you that the 20 years I was in corporate, I had to stop feeling anything. Otherwise, I was going to go nuts. So I had to cut off my feelings because I felt too much. And then when I got out and I started feeling again, like, yeah, I was reaching for the candy. I'm like, I got to fill this with something. And it took a lot of unraveling, a lot of
Oh,
healing to figure
so
out what
good.
was going on. I mean,
I love that.
oh my gosh, I was
I just
dying.
want to, I just want to add to that, that I always teach
Please.
my clients, the only way out is through. And so I like to get out as quick as possible from anything. I'm slowing down my talking now, but I am a quick talking New Yorker from Brooklyn, clearly. And I'm like, oh my God, the only way out is through. Feel it, feel it, feel it, Jen. Feel whatever it is. And so the only way out is through. And so if you're freaking sick and tired of shit, right? And you don't want to have something, because we love to be in control. We know who we are. Well, then great. You have to just kind of sit with it real quick. This isn't some therapy session we're talking about. Sometimes I'll feel the pain of the marriage. I'm 21 years married this year. I mean it. Or, oh my gosh, I have 3 kids, 15 and under. And oh my gosh, I run a company with 5 women. Like, there's just a lot of stuff. And my mother's aging. And if, you have hardship and someone has passed away recently, feel it. It's okay to feel it. Actually, it's the only way out. So you might as well do it. And so I'll just sit with it quick. Oh, what? Oh, and a tear will come, or something. And by the way, you release cortisol, the stress hormone, through tears. So a lot of times I'll just be like, oh God, I feel a tear coming on. Can I bawl real quick? Because I want the cortisol out. Cortisol is the stress hormone that really makes women fat. And not that we are fat, but puts fat on us, especially your midsection. So I'm always like, I'm getting lean by crying right now. Cortisoling that out. And it's just these little tips, that we're talking about that make a huge difference. Huge.
Yes, the crying helps. I find watching something funny, like laughter, helps.
Yes, yes.
What are some other things that you help women get through? Because I know, I imagine a lot of people are watching this and going like, I don't want to feel the feels. Like,
fine, don't feel it. I know that one too. Been there. I mean, I live in nature now. We live in Flagstaff. I was saying, before this, time together, go for a hike, connect in nature. What I don't want you to do is shop, eat, people gamble, no judgment, work more hours. That's shutting it down and not giving your body space to walk it off, to get out. Go out with a friend for lunch. Watch something funny. I'm in agreement. What I don't want is the stuffing down of the food, the alcohol. Trust me, I work a lot. I love what I do. I was so giddy to talk today. Like, I'm obsessed. Getting this message out. Women don't have to suffer anymore. But point being, I'm like, oh, is that a cover for something? It's like, you got 3 kids. What are you doing, Jen? And so even that can be a cover. It's just to be more aware. Module 3 of the Sugar Freedom Method is tuning in. It's just understanding yourself more so that, I'll say it, we don't need a million supplements. We don't need drugs in our 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't believe we need all of that when we can just keep putting the body, when it goes out of balance, back in balance. So my whole thing is cravings, wicked cravings. Oh, your body's so out of balance, sister. How can we get it back in balance as quick as possible?
That's so good. You're making me reevaluate my whole life. I'm like, I was a shopaholic. I was a sugarholic. I was a workaholic. I'm still trying to get out of the workaholic because, when we love what we do, but getting too tired, getting too stressed, putting too many expectations on ourselves, which many of us do, it can lead to us, our bodies being overstressed. And when we are overstressed, we tend to reach for the sugary things, right?
Absolutely.
We tend to reach for the comfort foods.
The alcohol, the wine. It's not bad or good. It's just a direct relationship. I always say the success we got in our businesses, because that's who we work with as well, busy female professionals, the success that got us to where we are with our businesses, it ain't the same success plan to get us healthy. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So you can't follow the same. So I control everything. Usually everyone has a blessed life. They're working, they're profitable, they're happy. But why do their bodies don't look like this, they're decaying. Or why can't I get up in the morning? What are these migraines? I'm like, because your success plan for business is killing you in your personal life. You need a different plan.
Oh.
And that's where we come in. Different plan that works.
Yes, that is such a mocktail moment. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love mocktails. I will tell you, one of the things that I tell my clients is that when you're craving sugar, do the things that you mentioned. Take a deep breath, drink a glass of water, go for a walk, get out in nature, all of those things. I'm a big fan of meditating, even though some people will roll their eyes at that, even 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But some of the foods that you can replace to help with those sugar cravings, high fiber foods that have a natural sweetness, like oatmeal, sweet potatoes, apples. I love a good apple with almond butter. Cinnamon, you can put apples with cinnamon. Cinnamon is a great sugar craving buster. Is that, how am I saying that? It busts the sugar cravings.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if there are any foods that you've noticed your clients can really are.
I love that. Well, I also like when it's the winter months, like I love a good applesauce. And trust me, ladies, I don't like to cook. People love that about me. 15 minutes or less, even though I have 3 kids, I'm like, hurry up. And I'm Italian, Sicilian. And you think, oh my God, I love all this. Not so much. I would really rather be out living my life than like cooking things for hours. And if you do, God bless you, but I don't. But I love so I'll do an applesauce. It's so easy. A little bit of water. I throw in apples that I've peeled. I throw in the cinnamon. I throw in a little bit of sea salt. And I just leave it for 10 minutes while I'm in the shower. And then I just mash it up and I have a vat of it and it sits in the fridge. It's so good. And I'll do some of that. It's just easy. I like sweet potato fries. Again, I cook those up while I'm cooking dinner. I avocado oil, please use avocado oil and some sea salt. And I'll just make 2 batches full. And then I'll just pick on them during the day cold. I do those things. I happen to love a smoothie, like chocolate and banana. Yes, it's got sugar, but a banana doesn't make us fat. It's only other crap we do. I eat a banana a day, write that down, and look what I look like at almost 50. I eat a banana a day. I work out and I use it. I don't eat 7 bananas. I also then don't eat pizza and Starbucks. I eat mostly what we're talking about. But I put a banana with some cacao powder, with some collagen powder. Collagen powder, please don't use that other powder. It hurts you. I blend that up. Sometimes I will throw spinach in, true story, but you can't taste it. It's just green. Yeah. And so spinach, banana, collagen powder, water, or I have this oat milk I like. Seems to be non-inflammatory, so I use it, or water. And I blend it and it's like, oh. And I can't do nut butters. They hurt me, but it's great. Like, it's just so good. And like something like that, chocolate banana, it's almost as good as a Reese's peanut butter cup. Almost.
So good. I love
right.
That.
And so,
yes. And earlier we were talking about that addiction. And I will tell you that I had an accidental experience where I got addicted to a fake sweetener. And I didn't even realize, because I was basically taking these new vitamins. And they were in powdered form. You put them in water and they were sweet. And I'm like, why are these so sweet? And then I started realizing I needed them. Like I wanted them. I started craving them. And I was like, what is this? Then I started looking into fake sugars. And I'm like, this is not good. They are messing with my microbiome. They are messing with my whole system. And they are making me crave them. And I realized if I'm craving this, it can't be good. Like if I need to have it, like a hit, it can't be good. What do you tell your clients about fake sugars?
That's great. Don't touch them unless you want to die early.
And it's hard to notice where they are, right? Because they're in a lot of things.
Well, none of the stuff that I teach, but I like, here's a list of Jenn's brand name foods, stamp of approval. But yeah, it's, these sugar alcohols. So I always say when they say for diabetics, don't eat it. Diabetic food, don't eat it. Paleo, be really inquisitive. And so they know. All natural, take a look. Sugar-free, low sugar, Low sugar means sugar alcohols. It means sucralose, aspartame, Splenda, even stevia and monk fruit, I question. Stuff messes. People, oh, but it's paleo friendly. How do you feel? I know how I feel. And so don't do it, or at least use monk fruit and stevia, because at least it's the most natural of the other things, at least. And so have that as a stepping stone. But what we teach is how not to crave it all the time and then take a hit. I go out with my husband. I could care less what I'm having. I enjoy it. I'll have a drink. I have these delicious, oh my God, pickled. They're like pickled French fries. God only knows what's in them. But it's my 5% or 10% because we need to live. And then I go back to my anti-inflammation, lifestyle. But have it. Just don't have it all the time and don't make it part of your regular diet. And anything, like I said, diabetic, sugar-free, low cal, low sugar. I'm like, oh gosh, what does that? Oh, Coke's thing is like 0. I'm like, oh, my kids know. Oh, Mom, don't say anything. Yeah, we know what 0 is. You're gonna feel like 0 after you drink it. So,
yeah. Oh my gosh, that is also good. And I will say, there are 2 schools of thought, right? There's the have something once in a while, but when you were talking about addiction, and when I think about alcoholics, once they give up alcohol, they will not touch it. They won't even have a drop. That's me and sugar. Like I can't, because if I go on vacation and I have things that have sugar in it, I come back and it takes me a while. It takes me like, at least 2 weeks to get back into the I don't crave it anymore. So
we can talk about that. I can give it to you in 3 days.
Oh, good.
If not two. But I do respect that. Some people, it's a light switch.
Yeah.
Light switch. You're off, you're on. But
yes. And so I do the crowding out where I make a lot of my own foods just because for me, it's easier than trying to find stuff. So like I'll make my own muffins that have the things that the natural ingredients, because we're talking about whole foods, right? When you're filling your body with whole foods, natural ingredients, you're not tricking your body into, the things with stevia or any of the sugars, the non-sugar sugars. They're tricking your body into thinking, oh, sugar's coming. I'm going to do all like the glucose and the sugar response.
Yes.
And I'm going to throw everything at it that I think it's going to need for sugar. And then it gets there and it's like, wait, where's the sugar?
And I always say too, if you can't pronounce it, neither can your body, and it doesn't know what to do with it. So it's going to store it. So ladies who have fat around the middle or on the back, or they're like, oh, I'm hip and thigh heavy. No, you're probably chemical heavy. No judgment. Okay. It doesn't know what to do with it. If you can't read it, and trust me, I eat it, just not all the time, but it doesn't know what to do with it. So it stores it, it pads it in our fat cells so that we live and we're mostly healthy. And so, just think of it that way too. Oh gosh, it's going to store, not because it has no calories and it's going to be gone. It's quite the opposite. So amazing. Yeah.
So good. So if anyone wants my hidden truths about weight loss free guide, I'm putting that in the crawler, but I would love for you to tell them, Jenn, about some of the things you have going on, because I know you have some exciting stuff in the works.
Oh yes. And we were just saying, please, I will offer my 3-part anti-inflammation workshop. And I know many of us, like we cringe, like, oh God, 3 parts. Trust me, I'm the same. 15 minutes a day. Quick. You learn stuff. And yes, I was going to say, so we've got this white glove, very similar, right? Learn the method. Busy professionals, 40s to 60s. That's only who we take with my coaches. But then I've started a membership for anyone else, more affordable. I'll say it that way, for women who are like, maybe I don't want to invest that way for 6 months, even though we guarantee results, which is impressive. But maybe you just want to just hang around with us and still have some access to me. And so there's a membership, which is launching now, but it's part of my training. And so should you want that, I would love for women to be able to access and understand the 5 ways inflammation is causing us to feel sick, tired, and bloated, and how to fix it. And my method, I teach my method in the 15 minutes a day. I talk really fast, my friends. And my website, I always say that. Anywhere on social media, I am Jenn Edden, 2 N's, 2 D's. I keep it really simple. So I'd be honored to connect. In any way that makes sense.
Oh, I love that. And the membership is so great for someone who wants to dip their toe in, right? They're like, I want to get a taste of what Jenn's
And then you can upgrade and come hang out with us, and we'll just take that investment. I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible. This method for another day belongs in schools, and my kids come home and go, oh my gosh, Red Bull. And I'm like, oh, did you tell them? They're like, well, I know, Mom, because my kids live my modules. So,
yes, right.
But amen. But yes, it just needs to be accessible to the world. So
So good. Oh,
Yeah.
Jenn, it has been an honor and a pleasure speaking with you. I have had so much fun. I know we could go forever, but I am going to drop you in the green room. I will definitely link all of those wonderful things that you mentioned for
Thank you.
our
Thank
community
you.
so they can access it. Hang out in the green room, get a mocktail. I'll be back in just a second. Love seeing you. Oh my gosh, wasn't that amazing? Holy cow, so many great tips. I hope you got as much out of it as I did. I'm sure you did. Thank you so much for joining me. And I want to remind you, how are you going to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for you today? And until then, do join me for another episode of Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central. And until then, have a happy, healthy, delicious lifestyle. Thank you for joining me today. You can learn more about me, my products, and services at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me for another episode every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on my globally recognized show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine.